Alright, so today we are going to be working on Candy Kane. We're going to be pulling the truck in here and dropping the transmission out of it. This transmission was built back in '96 and it has it's been great. Still shifts great. It chirps tires when it shifts. It performs great. But we're going to put new clutches in it and all the seals in it because it leaks out of multiple places, and I've had to run a diaper or a towel zip tied to the frame underneath it for the last couple of races I've been to because of it dripping, and I didn't want to get kicked off the track. So I'll show you that when we get it up in the air, but we're going to get this pulled in here and get the transmission out of it. I did order a new torque converter and it should be in about 4 days. We're going to put a bigger stall in here for this race coming up in April called the Tailgate Throwdown. So if you've not heard of that, you need to check it out. It's going to be held in Newport, Arkansas, and it's a trucks only race. It don't matter what kind of truck it is, just bring a truck and we'll have a class set up for you to run in. I'm just going to leave the 402 in here for now, and I'm going to probably go ahead and put the tunnel ram on here because, man, I've been wanting to cut a hole in this hood for over 20 years. So I'll get a hole cut in the hood, put the tunnel ram on the 402. It's just a junkyard motor, but it'll probably run all right. With a bigger converter and stuff in it, I think it'll be fine. And then after this race, I'll get started on putting the 481 that I've got right here. We'll get this put in. The motor's ready to go, but the truck is not because I don't have good axles. I need a roll bar. I need a safety harness or seat belt, you know, a 5-point harness in there. Because right now all it has is a lap belt, and with that engine in here, the truck's going to go faster than I trust that lap belt. If something was to happen and I was to have a wreck, I'd like to be safe. So I'm going to put a roll bar in there, and not a full cage or anything, just a good roll bar with a place to attach the seat belt. And as I'm not trying to mess up the inside of the truck too bad before I give it to my grandson in about 6 years. Anyway, yeah, we'll get started on this, and just stick around. Here we go. All right, let's get this truck started up. It's going to be a cold start, of course. I got gloves on, but still, well, there's a part of glove missing, so it's cold. I did start it yesterday, so it's going to fire right up immediately because this old 750 vacuum secondary with no choke on it has been starting perfect all winter long. Probably the best starting engine that I've had in this truck in the last 35 years. So let's see what it does. Yep, starts so good. Lower this hood down. We're going to pull in here. Started on this, pulling this transmission out. Alright, let's get some wheel chocks on this thing. We're going to put it in neutral and let it get settled where it wants to be, because we got to pull that drive shaft out. Here goes one wheel chock. And we'll put a piece of wood under the other side. That'll work. Look at there. Cope Racing Transmissions. He don't do Chevrolet transmissions, but if he did, that's who you'd want to build it. But if you have a Mopar, he's your man. And also, he's doing a new 4R100 trans brake for the Fords. So check out Cope Racing Transmissions. Give her a good old shake. Alright, I don't think she's going anywhere. Always give it a good shake before you put your life underneath your vehicle. Because you're the one responsible for keeping yourself alive in these situations. So, we'll get started. Get started on doing this. Alright, we got to get a pan underneath this transmission to catch the fluid. Alright, I said I'd show you this diaper I've got under here. So this transmission has quite a few leaks. I just took a hand towel, a cheap hand towel from Walmart, and I zip tied it to the frame in two places here, and then across the other side, so that anything that dripped off the bottom of the transmission would get caught. We'll cut that off of there. Hopefully we don't need it again on the next one. But, I mean, it's a Chevrolet transmission. And it's old, and hell, it may leak after it's rebuilt. Who knows? Hey, it caught some leaves. We're going to go ahead and drain this transmission pan while we're on here. I couldn't remember what size it was, so I just brought a crescent wrench. Here's the plug out of it, and it's got some clutch material on it. And it did last time I changed it. It had clutch material, but I mean it's, you know, it's from 1996, so it should be losing clutch material. But it still shifts good. So we're going to go ahead and get it freshened up though. got the transmission dropped out. It wasn't too bad. Been nicer if I had a jack that went up higher, or some jack stands that I could put this truck up a little higher. Been working on the ground for years. I need to get me a shop with a lift in it. Makes a hell of a difference. But anyway, I got the transmission out. There's the Speedway torque converter that I've been running in here. It says 22 to 2600 because that's what the part number came up with when I ordered it from Speedway 7 years ago, 8 years ago. But it only stalls up to 1800 with the big block in the 411 gears. That's all it's ever stalled up to, is around 2000 with the small block that was in here. But anyway, we're going to go with a 4000 stall and get a little more takeoff on this big old truck. So got the transmission here. I'm gonna get my I've got a tote right here that I'm going to put the transmission in and tear it apart, and we'll get it freshened up. Thanks for watching. Alright, so here's something you got to deal with when you take a transmission out and you have your engine still in, is when you let your engine down, it's going to sag, your distributor's going to hit the firewall, all that jive. So what I got here is a piece of wood that I'm going to put in above the flywheel. It's tilting. It's pivoting, so that's not going to work the way I want it to. Yep, I don't think that's what I want. Alright, the pressure's off of it there. Think that's going to hold? And that's wedged in there pretty tight. I can't move it, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I guess that's going to hold pretty good. Alright. Alright, we got it off the stands. All of our tools and stuff are still underneath the truck, so what we're going to do is lower this hood down. We're going to just push the truck out back into the drive. Right here. That should be good. Yeah, we'll just leave it right there and clean up our mess. And then we'll get to take a look at the transmission. break. All right, we're trying some easy off. We've got the transmission soaking right now. And get the servo cover soaked. We're gonna spray it down and let it soak for a while. And we'll get it cleaned up. Okay, we got the case all cleaned up. Got it. I did some easy off and a brush. I washed it down real good, and I took an air hose and blew it all out. I got the pump apart. Checked my pump gears. They look great. There's no wear on it, excessive wear or anything like that. I'm gonna get it all cleaned up. Check this seal. I'm gonna see if my kit's got these seals in it. It should have it. In a gasket. So I'll go through the pump first, and then I'll work my way through, and we will start loading this thing back up. I'm going to get my clutches and get them soaking, and shouldn't take too long. We'll have this thing back together. Alright, so we got the transmission all apart. Got it all cleaned up and blowed back out. Plugged up this port. I'm going to do a dual feed on the drum, the main drum, to sort of have more holding pressure on the clutches. Got this pump all back together. I got to scrape this gasket off, put a new gasket on there. I got new clutches right here. I got to get those soaking in some transmission fluid, and then we'll start replacing all the seals and stuff that need to be replaced. Try to get this thing back together, but it's getting there. Alright, so I am looking into the second and third gear drums, and I did find some discoloration on the steels, and it's not bad. It cleans up real easy, so I'm just hitting it with this Scotch-Brite wheel here, and it makes them look like this. It goes from that to this. They're not warped or anything. It's got a little bit of discoloration from a little bit of heat. These are the old clutches. I'm going to be putting all new clutches in it, and I'm also in my third gear. I'm going to be putting a 5 clutch, adding another disc to it, so it's 4 disc. I'm going to add 5. I'm sorry, in my primary. But anyway, that's where we're at. It's looking real good. I mean, this transmission looks great inside. I did find a bushing that is going to need to be replaced. It's not horrible, but the plating's starting to come off, so I'm going to go ahead and replace a few of the bushings. Some of them still look great, like no wear at all, and then a couple of them need to be replaced. So I'm going to get those bushings replaced and get all my clutches done. And it won't be put together tonight or tomorrow, because I got to order that bushing that I need, or those 2 bushings I need, because I didn't get bushings in my kit. Not only got the input and output bushing. So anyway, I got to order that, and that should be in when the stall comes in this week, and I'll get this all back together and hopefully get it back in Candy Kane next week, so I can start driving it and testing it out. Alright, so it's been about 4 or 5 days, and I've got some parts in today. We're doing some more upgrades to this transmission as we put it together. I've got I just put a new case bushing in back here. I blocked off this port. I drilled and tapped it, and I put a plug in it and blocked it off. I've got a new piston here for 5 clutch. I've got a 5 clutch piston there. We're going to go from 4 to 5 clutches, and I've got a captured spring deal here. Also got some Teflon, high pressure Teflon rings to go on here for my pressure rings. I went from steel to the high pressure Teflon because they hold up to the pressure better than the stock steel rings do. I've got a roller bearing for the back here. Actually, go in here. So both sides of the output shaft will be it'll be all roller bearing. I'm getting rid of some thrust bearings and going roller bearings. Make it a little bit easier to spin, free up a little bit. All my steels are in great shape. I've got to, I'm going to hit all these with a buffing wheel, a Scotch-Brite wheel, clean my steels up. The clutch plates all look pretty good, considering this transmission's 28 years old. All the clutch plates look pretty good. I've got a set of high energy clutch plates that's been soaking in here, ready to go. These are all high energy. It did have the red Alto clutches in it, and they still look decent. Not burn up. Third gear was a little bit discolored, but all the rest of them look good. Third gear had took on a little heat, which I should, because that's the tallest gear. The band looked good in it, but I've got all new stuff over here. I got all new parts, all the seals and all that. I do have the shift linkage O-ring already replaced. I did notice that Sonics sells a shift lever that if your case is worn out, you can get an O-ring shift linkage. So when you put the shift shaft, it's got an O-ring on it. So when you put it in, you have an O-ring plus you put the seal on the outside, so it's double sealed. But my case looks pretty good. The only thing that was wrong with mine was the O-ring was worn out on this case. So anyway, we're going to get to putting this thing back together. We're going to try to get the as much as we can done. I'm waiting on, let's see, the piston, the 5 clutch piston came in today. I do have one more clutch and steel coming in. It'll be in tomorrow when the mail runs. Another one more high energy too, because I went from 4 to 5 clutches. That'll be in tomorrow. So we'll get this thing finished up hopefully by tomorrow night. But let me get to going on this thing. Alright, we got the new sprag in. I just installed it. Nice and smooth. And here's the reason why I swapped out the sprag. I'm going to show you the old one here and what made me want to change it out. Get it out of here. I'm doing this one-handed. So you see those springs right there? That one's collapsed. It's not supposed to be collapsed. It's supposed to be expanded out. And see, the bearing just fell out of it because it's collapsed. And there's 3 of them like that, so that's why I went ahead and ordered a new sprag for it. I think it was like $25. So that one did work fine, but now we've got a new one. We don't have that in the back of our mind going, man, what if that sprag fails? We're going to get this drum loaded up, start putting this thing together, and we'll go from there. Stick around. Alright, we are back on the Turbo 350 out of Candy Kane. I got it all put back together now. I'm getting ready to put this deep pan back on here. Just put my filter on. Got my kick down tied shut. I got a block off plate for that. I've got everything working right now. New modulator valve in. Completely went through everything, replaced all the bushings. I did have to order some more bushings for my front pump because the bushings that came with the bushing kit, which were Alto brand bushings, they were too thick and I couldn't get my front pump to slide down on my input shaft. So I had to take them out and replace them again. But I've got it all together now and everything seems to be working out good. I did run into an issue where I did make some upgrades and I had a problem with my end play. My end play was off when I put it together and it locked the transmission up. And that was because I took a thrust bearing, a thrust washer out of the back here between my drums. I took the thrust washer out and I upgraded to this roller bearing. But what I didn't compensate for was the thickness difference. This one's right around 145 thousandths, and the other one was 65 thousandths. So I took this back out, put the thrust washer back into it, because I wasn't real sure where to take the end play out of it now, because I didn't see any extra bushings or spacers in there that would give me that much room for my end play. But anyway, it's back together now. It's working like it should, and about got it all together. So I'm getting ready to put the pan on here. I may try to get this stuck in Candy Cane tomorrow. I don't think it's going to rain till tomorrow night, so I may try to get this put in Candy Cane tomorrow sometime. Got my converter there. I got to go get some transmission fluid so I can throw a quart in that and get this thing stuck in Candy Cane. Try to get it back running and see if it works. This was my first completely full transmission build where I actually replaced all the clutches and all the bushings. I have been into a couple of Turbo 350s, but never replaced everything in it. And so, fingers crossed, it works. I watched a bunch of different videos. I started with all my modifications. I was watching Sam on White Trash Motorsports. Then I watched Precision Transmission out of Texas. The guy does an excellent job at going through the transmission. And then also Nick's Transmissions on installing the valve body and everything back in here. I got it all done, all the performance modifications. I went from a third gear, from a 4 clutch pack to a 5 clutch pack, and dual feeding the piston and everything, all the good stuff done to it, except for that rear roller bearing is back to a thrust washer, which is what it had been for the last 28 years, and it worked fine. So with that saying, I will get this pan put back on there and get the plug put back in the kick down. I've got an aluminum plug here for that. Let's see. Yep, right here. And I've got a new vent for the top of the case. There's the plug. I'll install that and get the pan on here. Get it flipped over, and oh, I got one more thing. I am missing my washer. I must have lost it in my transmission pan off of my drain plug. So I've got to get a washer for that. I'll see what I can come up with. I'll find one if I have to go to the parts store and come up with something. I've got an O-ring kit, so maybe I'll just throw an O-ring on there and hope that it seals. If not, I'll try to find a plastic washer for it. Anyway, let's get this put together, and maybe we'll come pick this back up as we're putting it in Candy Cane, hopefully tomorrow. Alright, I got Candy Cane rolled back into the shop, and getting ready to get it up off the ground. We're going to slide this transmission under here and see can we get it stuck on that big block. See can we get it stuck on the big block for now. I just want to get it bolted up, get my cross member in. Cross member's right there. Got the dry shaft. I did put some clear coat on it, so we're letting it cure now. But we're going to see can we get this Turbo 350 bolted back up to this 402, and we'll go from there. I got it all built. Hopefully it works. It's all new stuff. Started cleaning it up a little bit. I got to get some transmission fluid put in the torque converter, get it slid in here, get it put on. So let's get this thing jacked up, transmission back under it. Alright, we're back, and we have the transmission in Candy Cane. We do have it bolted up. Got the cross member under it. We got about everything hooked up. I got to get the I got to hook up the torque converter. Got to hook up my shifter. I need to put it in the part. And actually, I'm gonna put my drive shaft in first. The old Candy Cane drive shaft. We're gonna slide it in here, get it hooked up, and then we'll put it in park and hook the shifter up. And I think that's about it. I won't be able to put the transmission fluid in it right now because my drain pan I got to go get that plastic washer to go on the bottom of it. Yeah, my gloves are, I'm due for new ones. These are wore out. I got to get a plastic washer to go on that drain plug on the transmission pan. I don't trust that O-ring because that's not what comes on it. It comes with a plastic washer. So that's what I'm going to put back on it. So anyway, let's get this drive shaft put in. Two drop shafts, Luke. That's the one. I got the one. All right, the drive shaft is in. I got to tighten up the bolts, but let's take a look. Oh, I got handprints on there from the gloves. We're going to have to wash them off, but I think the drive shaft looks pretty cool. I think when I paint this, I'm going to take the rear end out, put axles in it, and weld up the tubes. Maybe I already candy stripe my axles too. I don't think it'll be too much. Hell, the truck's too much anyway. Oh, Tony's Hot Rod Garage. All right, we got a few things to wrap up, so I'll get those done, and we'll get the truck on the ground. Like I said, we're not going to put transmission fluid in it today because I've got to run. I may run to the store, parts store, this afternoon and go ahead and get that plug. We'll see. I'll get back with you. All right, we got the transmission in, and I got it out here running. Filling it up with transmission fluid now, letting everything circulate. I've already backed it up just a little bit, pulled it forward. So we're just giving it a minute to get the fluid circulating good, and we'll see what it does. If everything seems to be good, no leaks or anything, we may put some fuel in here and then just take a little ride down the road. All right, everything seems like it's going to be okay. I got the fluid topped off. Man, look at that. They're pulling a dirt pan across that field. And that ain't good news for me, because we've never had rice planted directly in front of our house. But the farmer that lives next door looks like he's going to make us both suffer. So we'll have, we already have horrible mosquitoes in the summertime. That's going to make it even worse. Although 2 fields over is rice anyway, but now we're going to have it directly in front of us. That's not great. Anyway, let's go take a ride in Candy Kane. See if this torque converter is going to work for us, or transmission. It is a new transmission, new torque converter and all. Alright, let's see, can I get you to ride here? That ought to work. 60 on the water temp. About good old 20 pounds of oil pressure idling. But, I mean, that's a junkyard motor for you. All right, let's get out and look for leaks. Runs good though. There's the Candy Kane dry shaft. I gotta wipe it off. I got some dirt on it. It's gonna look pretty. It's starting to rain. Just started sprinkling. Let me pull up just a little bit. This ain't where I want to leave it. Yeah, it's a lot better. It's taking gear when I put it down. All right. Well, I'm happy with that. Looks like it's ready to drive it a few more times and get that transmission, just go through the gears several more times, making sure it's shifting great. Make sure I don't get any leaks. I'll give it time to set, check for leaks after it's been setting, and it'll be ready to get some slicks put on it and take it to George Ray's, because they'll be opening up now they'll be opening up because it's March 1st tomorrow, and so they start opening for Test and Tune, and Newport also. I may try to get over to Newport and try that track out since we have a race coming up there. Oh, passenger door's not shut. Hey, one thing real quick. These door seals, I seen someone else do a video, and I think I done one, I never put it out, but I done one a couple years ago. These are off of a Honda Civic, a two-door Honda Civic, about a 2006 model, and they fit perfect right in here. You have this tab right here tells you that goes in that corner, and then they just lay right in. Fits perfect. And I got those at a pull apart for free because they don't have a price on door seals, and they said, oh, but we don't have a price list on that, you can have them for free. So I got a couple sets. Anyway, that's all I got for this transmission video. So it looks like Candy Kane is back in action for now. Once I'm really sure this transmission is good to go and everything's going to work great, we may go ahead and throw the 481 in there, get it running. I got to order the motor mounts for it. I'm not going to run these solid mounts on it yet. I'm going to put some because I have the old style, I don't have the clamshell motor mounts on Candy Kane because it's a 64. Here's the original purchase. These are small block purchase for a C10, for a 64 C10 or a 70 model or whatever. My motor mount sits directly on top and the bolt comes in through the bottom. And so Energy Suspension has a set of motor mounts for those polyurethane mounts. I'm going to order that to put on the 481 for now. And I'm just not going to take it real hard on there while I got the stock axles. I just want to get it in there and get it running. And hopefully I can do it this month. That way I can get a few test passes in before the tailgate throwdown. But I think it's going to work out all right. I appreciate you guys tuning in, watching this video, and check out Tony's Hot Rod Garage. I've got to get with him on some awesome merch because he makes like the best t-shirts for YouTube channels or for anybody. Really awesome job on those. And you know what? It sounds like this is sleet. You hear that? Let's see if we can see sleet. Yeah, Yeah, that's sleet. Okay, it was 72 degrees a couple days ago. Now we got sleet today. All right, let me get my motorcycles pulled in the garage, get all this mess cleaned up, and I'll get out and get some more video of the truck, trying it out. Anyway, that's all I got for this this video today. Appreciate you guys watching, and if you can, check out Outfits Garage too. Pretty cool guy, Russell. Even though he came over and took parts out of my truck, check that short out. Check that video where the out-of-towners came and took stuff out of the back of Candy Kane while I wasn't home. That's a good video. But we'll see you on the next video. I'm Big Block 402, and I'm gone.